53 and 35 run with complimentary plays with two more selections coming up today. In the AL East, the Tampa Bay Rays at New York against the Yankees. And in the National League, a run line dog for you as well. They're both coming up in just a moment. Guys, I got to tell you, in the aftermath of the Monday night game, without a doubt, one of the toughest parts of my job is grading games, because so many gamblers and common folk out there think that games are graded based on the closing line. Let me ask you something seriously. When's the last time you bet a game minutes before kickoff, minutes before the first pitch? It just doesn't happen, especially if you're on the favorites. Fact is, you always bet the favorites early. You bet the dogs late. That's how it goes, because 99.9% of the time, it always is more advantageous to do so. Betting favorites early, betting dogs late. Now, back to grading games. Listen, even on our scoreboard here on the site, which FYI has been revised, I hope you like it, with all the numerous sports books I've added here so you can compare prices across the board. And there's going to be other revisions, FYI, coming up here in the next few weeks, and I'll keep you posted on that. Even on the scoreboard, the closing line is the line that is listed next to the final order game. Doesn't mean anything. The fact is, on Mondays, for example, with your football game, I have a deadline for the majority of the handicappers here to have their plays live by 11 a.m. Eastern time, because I know the buying pattern of you, the customer. I know, like, for example, on Sunday mornings, by 11:30 a.m. Eastern time, 95% of the total sales at this site, they're already done, because you guys get the plays early. You like to get your wagers in early, because if you're smart, you're comparing prices across a number of different sports books, and that's the key to often taking advantage of some key line moves. Guys often ask me, well, what sports book do you recommend? Well, I don't recommend any of them. Nobody's paying me for a recommendation, so I'm not going to recommend any of them. Bottom line is this, I think that you have to have multiple sports books. Listen, when I first started betting, I was working in Philadelphia, and I had friends that were working in Atlanta. We were both in the free scoreboard business, where we were giving you scores every 5 minutes, every single day. You have to excuse me, guys. They're cutting the grass outside here. You can hear the loud noise behind me. But the bottom line is that, I used to call the guys in Atlanta for their lines on Saturday and Sunday mornings. They used to get my lines, and we used to place our bets accordingly based on who had the best lines on the games. Same thing nowadays. You got to have multiple sports books. Now, back to that game between Denver and Oakland yesterday. Listen, the majority of the handicappers, when they released the play, including myself, at that time, Denver was 14 and a half. If you read my analysis yesterday, I pointed out how the betting public, because suddenly you saw all the dogs, all the upsets coming through on Sunday, had started rolling in the big money on the Raiders, and then it had suppressed the line from 16 a few days earlier down to 14 and a half. And then we had a reversal of fortune later in the day. Starting around 3:30 Eastern time, that line started to climb. First it went up to 14.5 to 15, then eventually 15.5. Some places 16, many places 16, I should say. Some, and we're talking about two big offshore books where you always play usually a half point more, maybe a point more for the price you're playing on favorites. Now, that sounds like criticism, but remember, it is advantageous if you happen to be playing the underdog, right? So again, another reason you should have multiple sports books you're playing through. Some of those places, they went up to 17. Come on, seriously? So, what do I do here at the site? Well, knowing the buying pattern of the customers, knowing when people are accessing their plays, knowing that I think 99.9% of you out there realize you bet the favorites early, bet the dogs late, and since the majority of the guys here had Denver last night, the only way I can grade the game is a push. Because, I personally won, but let's say this. Let's say 75% of my customers won, and 75% of the other guys on Denver here, their customers won. Some of the guys pushed. A few may have come late to the dance and actually lost. So what can you do? You have to grade it as a push. I think it's the only fair way, because I'm not concerned about record keeping for the handicappers, being able to add another win to the column, adding another, unit of profit to their overall ledger sheet. I think it's just about being fair. And again, you guys aren't dummies. You're not watching this video because you're in love with my goatee. Well, I know some of you are, but that's beside the point. But seriously, I think that the main thing is that you're not stupid. You realize that's how it goes with gambling. I mean, line moves are a part of the game. I'd say more often than not, way more often than not, especially from the criticism I get from the guys on the site, I cost them wins because I would rather bend over backwards and be fair and take a win away, counting it as a push, than go the other direction. Now, there were a few guys that had Oakland last night, and the same thing applies to them. It's a push. That's the bottom line. But again, if you are not betting favorites early and underdogs late, guys, get with the program. And if you do not have at least 2 different sports books, 2 different bookies, 2 different casinos in Vegas, that you're looking at the odds and looking to see who is more advantageous in your particular situation, you got to be crazy. Let me just point out something with offshore sports books too. The lines move offshore more based on the money that's coming in from the customers. The bigger sports books, right, are a little less likely to shift that line as quickly as the smaller offshore sports books because their customer base is bigger. But a smaller book, where you have a smaller base, they're more proactive, shifting their lines because as the money comes in, smaller customer pool, they've got to make sure that they're getting even money on both sides, so you're more often going to find a line shift on the smaller books. Again, I'm not going to sit here and go and give them any publicity at all. And a conversation on whether it's legal or not to bet offshore, that's for another day. A conversation of why the U.S. government doesn't allow offshore sports betting instead of offshore having it legalized here through Vegas casinos, so everybody in the middle of Idaho can go ahead and place their bet. Instead of funding third world governments. I mean, I don't know what the hell we're doing sending tax dollars that we could be collecting here and enriching the coffers of businessmen that are sitting in Costa Rica or Curacao or, on some small little island in the middle of nowhere running a sports book because they have foreign ownership. I don't exactly know why we are still keeping the money flowing out legally or illegally, however you want to look at it, instead of having legalized sports betting here in America where, we could use the money, let's face it. But hey, like I said, a conversation for another day. I'm going to get to your free selections here in just a minute. A couple of things here to alert you to. Brad Wilton is the half-price play of the day. Last week I hit 2 straight half-price play of the day selections. I think the half-price play of the day went 4-0 overall last week. Of course, Wilton last night, you got his 69 winner, number 24 out of 34 is AFC West total of the year with the Broncos and Raiders going over. You got that play for just $14.95. He's on a 16-6-2 totals run now. But more importantly, $10 bettors up over $9,600 the past 76 days. He's going for winning day number 50 out of 77, winning day number 9 out of 11, 30-dime winner number 5 in a row, Tampa and New York. In baseball this year, $10 bettors have made over $4,200, and you're going to get his play as the half-price play of the day today simply by using coupon code. This is original. Get ready, guys. It's the word HALF. HALF, half, will do it for you. Jeff Benton, 75-dime winner number 14 out of 18 today. His NL total of the year, part number 2. Just hit part number 1 last Tuesday. Phillies and Marlins over in that particular game at Philadelphia. You got that for $5. He's on a 13-4-1 run with 75-dime releases. You've gotten 13 of those winners as $5 play of the day releases. And today, 75-dime winner number 14 out of 18, NL total of the year part number 2. You can get it for $5 simply by using coupon code Jeff5. Another handicapper, Shawn Michaels, going for winning day number 40 out of 60 over the past 4 months with his 50-dime winner number 29 out of 41, NL mismatch of the year. Last 59. Oh, that's not right. Sean's got a mistake on the site. It's 60 plays. Last 60 plays? Nope, he is right. Last 59 plays. 39, 19, and 1 record. Making a $10 better, $9,290. So, not too shabby. He's got that play going tonight. Maybe you want to save, money on buying his play. You can save $25 off a single purchase of anything here at the site by using coupon code 25OFF. 25 off. Quick congratulations to Scott Delaney. Yesterday, he told you the best bet on the entire board was not the Denver-Oakland game. It was in baseball. And then he delivered with Tampa in yesterday afternoon, 5-4 over Baltimore. And you got that play as his half-price play of the day. And today he has something stronger. 49 baseball winner number 17 out of 20 going for him. Congratulations to Brett Atkins. No. Actually, I think he won last. Let me just check that for you guys. I can't tell. Did he win last night? I'm looking here. Yes, he had a 39 winner last time. The Broncos and over as a 6-point teaser. So congratulations to him as well. Let's get to your free selections, guys. First of all, I'm going to go with the Yankees. They're pretty much even money today at home against the Rays. Listen, the Yankees are pretty much, one loss and they're out of contention. And even contending, they're a long shot with just 5 games left to play in the season. But I like them today, going against Tampa and Matt Moore. Listen, I realize that Matt Moore is 8-1 with his 2.76 earned run average in 14 road starts this season. 12 of those 14 have been wins by the Rays. But, last start that he lost on the road happened to come against the Yankees back on July 29th when he allowed 5 runs in 5 innings pitched. He got a no decision, but again, the Rays lost that game, and they're 12-2 in his 14 road starts this season. He's coming off a bad start against Texas on Thursday at home when he gave up 6 runs in 4 innings pitched. I know Hiroki Kuroda, he's just fallen to pieces here the second half of the season. 0-5 with an earned run average over 6 in his last 7 starts, but I like to go with the Yankees in this one, who took 2 out of 3 to open their homestand against the Giants. The Rays are coming off the 4-game home sweep of Baltimore, but I just like the Yankees in this particular spot here today. Your other free selection, guys, I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Reds as a run-line dog, plus $1.20, laying the 1.5 runs at home today against the New York Mets. Now, the Reds got into the playoffs, as did the Pirates last night when the Cardinals beat the Nationals. But remember, they're still contending with 5 games to go for first place in the competitive NL Central, 2 games back, as are the Pirates from St. Louis. They're going with Mike Leake tonight. He's won his last 3 starts with a 0.84 earned run average. He enters tonight's contest against the Mets with a little over 20 innings of a scoreless stretch. The Reds have won his last 4 starts. They won last night's opener 3-2 in 10 innings last night. They've scored 5 or more runs in 7 of their last 9 games. They've won 6 of their last 7 overall. So I'm going to go with the Reds on the run line in this one. Yes, I know Jonathan Nace has pitched well since coming back from rotator, that with cuff that was partially torn, with a 3.06 earned run average in 8 starts. But he's never fared well against the Reds, an ERA of over 4.5 in 5 career starts against Cincinnati. So I'll go ahead and lay the 1.5 with Cincinnati, make them a dog here tonight as your other free selection. Best of luck to you guys, and I'll catch you again on Wednesday morning.